These poems are dedicated to all those whose lives have been spent in bringing peace to this planet. Wherever you are, I bow my head. May peace be on this earth. We are all united with the thread of love. May each one of us realize the garland of life.
Spiritual life is the most practical life. Many people roll their eyes when I say the following. The spiritual life is the most practical life. How practical is the spiritual life? Okay, let's go into this. You are born. You take your first breath in. You live so many years. When you take your last breath, you are no longer here. What is keeping you alive? This is the spiritual path. One consciously tries to focus on the power of the breath. The same breath that is keeping you alive is keeping the entire universe alive. The spiritual path is constantly rewiring the circuits of the brain. It is constantly modifying the operating system, hardware, and software. Currently, the world at large is ignorant of this fact. We only place importance on the external events of life. This leads to the chaos which we see today. Many people, due to laziness and apathy, live lives like leaves blowing in the wind. One who is constantly discovering the jewel within does not lead a boring life. Bored is a state of mind. The spiritual path leads to the transformation of oneself. One goes from darkness to light. Mind you, this is not a metaphor. Wise men have been talking about this for thousands of years. Everything is set in place. Then why don't I see the light within? Have you ever turned on the inner computer? When you place your attention to what you perceive, where you place your attention is what you perceive. If you focus externally, one will never see the light within. Your current agitated brainwave state of high beta can't see the light within. Only when one calms down the mind, your true existence is revealed. Tell me, is this the most practical thing you can do? David Gelfand, rest in peace. Rest in peace, dear David. You were a magnificent man. You touched so many people's hearts. I remember meeting you over 33 years ago. You were at your soundboard making sure the sound was just right. Fast forward 33 years. And you still have that sweet smile performing your service. You always made people welcome. Didn't matter who they were. Your blissful presence will never be forgotten. Your love and compassion fills the ashram in the sky. David, you were the producer of my first CD, It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. You believed in me. I never forgot that. You had a simple heart. You loved to serve your fellow man. Meditation was a key to your life. Over the years, it truly transformed you. Why you had to go so suddenly, I will never know. Life is a great mystery. You are in an incredible place. You are one with the universe. Your presence is felt inside of me. I close my eyes and see your precious face. Waves of bliss emanate from you. It's like you are saying, I'm in a different room in the mansion of life. Come explore the various rooms while you are alive. We will greatly miss you. Yet we too someday will leave this precious place. I know we will meet someday again. There's no doubt about that. Until then, David, we will all miss your presence. I send my love to you and all the wonderful people you have affected. Many people haven't gotten over the shock. It's only been a day or two. Nam-myo Renge-kyo. David Gelfand, rest in peace too. I usually don't write about a passing of a person twice, yet here I am doing so. David had quite an impact on my life. Granted, I only saw him a few times in the last 10 years since moving from Ashland. I would call him a few times a year. We were always on the same wavelength. When your friend loves to meditate as much as you do, there is a special connection. Only people who love to meditate realize that. David definitely had that connection. Everyone considered David a friend, and rightly so. Everyone was David's friend. David embraced love and compassion in his life. There is a part of me that misses David deeply. I will never see that smiling face again, at least not in this lifetime. I will never see his humor in life. I will never see the light streaming through his eyes. I realize that as more people pass, please cherish your friends and families. They are the precious jewels in life. You may love your job, but the company you work for will lay you off on a whim. Friendship is the foundation of life. David understood this. He dedicated his life to serving. It's as simple as that. Nothing can make him happier being behind that soundboard except one thing: meditation. He loved to meditate. He saw the thread of love tying us all together. Over 33 years he practiced. I do not know why he died, yet I know some glorious power of love took him home. Life is a grand mystery. Love you, David. Aloha. Smart cookies. The ancient yogis were smart cookies. Hatha yoga was an art and science. I once had a conversation with someone who told me if they used the word Hatha yoga, they really didn't go much into the practice. I silently didn't say anything. Hatha yoga is a precious jewel. The way they teach it in the West is like physical exercise. That's only 1% of the light spectrum. The goal is to be one in conscience with the mind, body, and soul. Wise practitioners close their eyes when performing the asanas. They hold their position and totally relax into it. The mind is concentrating behind the power of the breath. There is a force field of light that one beholds. Sweet internal sounds are heard. The perfume of bliss fills the air. The mind, body, and soul are in harmony. Day by day, this experience grows. Remember, the more attention you pay to something, the more attention it pays to you. This is no longer a physical exercise, but a tool to discover your true nature. Your YMCA today only teaches the physical aspect. That's sad because there's so much more than that. It's almost like it shouldn't be taught at all. Granted, it's great exercise. Yet without proper training and wisdom, it is just exercise. Over 50 years ago, I stumbled upon this almost by accident. I combine my Hatha Yoga practice with meditating. Mind you, I still do my meditation practice. Yet the essence of Hatha Yoga is the merging of the mind, body, and soul. I hardly ever do it in a group session. The goal is to silently close your eyes and dive deep within your true nature. It is a sacred routine. One must close the external senses until they have totally opened up the internal senses. Only by blocking out the external world can you experience your true nature. Yes, the effects will manifest into your daily life. This is a simple tip of advice. We are all fine-tuning the guitar of life. May you someday take these words to heart. Narrow thinking. I was thinking about my last post and came to the following conclusion. Narrow thinking. Even if the gist was true, it still was narrow thinking. Let yoga be taught everywhere, whatever level they get out of it. Everyone is on their own spiritual and physical journey. Who am I to judge their journey? Everyone has their own unique path. It is tailor-made for them. The web of love is tying us all together. Nothing is cut and dried in life. There is no absolute. Mind you, yesterday was narrow thinking. I apologize for doing that. I was excited to see and discover the great combination of Hatha Yoga and meditation. Yet I presented it in a narrow manner. We all stumble and fall. Hopefully we can learn from our mistakes. I had this nagging feeling that something was slightly off when I wrote that piece. During my sleep, I got this message, narrow thinking. I pondered it over and completely agreed. Someday in the future, what I wrote will be true. It could be a million, billion, or trillion years. We are all going from darkness to light. Let patience and tolerance prevail on earth. May we realize the great wisdom that exists inside of us. May we ponder over our thoughts and actions daily. Only through our thoughts and actions can we make this world a better place. Food is your medicine. I've been fascinated for around 50 years that food is your best medicine. Nothing can surpass it. Yet in our drug-ridden society, we look for the pharmaceutical industry for our answers. Yes, I believe there are many wonder drugs. There's no denying that. Yet food as medicine has not reached the mainstream society. Junk food is still the norm. We eat junk food and wonder why we get sick and are unhealthy. We go to a doctor who will prescribe drugs. He gives you the drugs and they have huge side effects. They're like a band-aid to the situation. Some of these drug commercials say the side effects could be death or a heart attack. Basically, you're playing Russian roulette. My wife Barbara had a friend who had a doctor gave her a prescription for one drug. 2 years later, she was taking 20 drugs for all the side effects coming from the first one. You would think, as a society, we would get the picture. We were never taught preventative medicine in our schools. Even modern-day doctors only have around an 8-hour class on this subject. Those doctors who consider food as medicine are considered quacks and outcasts. If you want a healthy life, be proactive. Take responsibility for your health. Educate yourself. What is cutting edge today won't be seen for around 50 years. There is a myriad of incredible things you can do to help cure and protect yourself. I'm not saying don't go to a doctor and take drugs. I'm saying take responsibility for your own body. It's the only one you have. This human body is so magnificent. Behind your breath lies the essence of life itself. The same breath you take is the same breath the universe takes. What can be more wondrous than that? Yet we are texting on the freeway of life, oblivious to the wonderment of life. Count your blessings. Count your blessings. You are alive. This past week, a dear friend of mine passed away. The older I get, the more frequent this will happen. Nobody can escape death. The more you value your life, the better you will be. Gratitude is the key. When one truly cultivates gratitude, the mind and body are in harmony. Life will be so much easier to live. Hardships will still come your way. Curveballs will be thrown your way. Yet the mind and body will resist. Remember, it's how you react to a situation that causes you pain. Somehow we forgot that major piece of advice. We think that counting your blessings should only be done when we spend an hour worshiping. After that, we can go on our merry way. But to truly count your blessings, one must be aware of the power behind your breath. This is where true blessings should be counted. The same breath that is keeping you alive is keeping the universe alive. Now, that is what I call a blessing. There are infinite states of being blessed. Most of us are skimming the surface of the ocean of life. We are like seagulls swimming over the ocean. The whales know how to dive deep to the depths of the ocean. Mind you, they can skim the surface of the ocean, yet they were born to dive deep within. We are built in the same manner. Humanity is skimming the surface of the ocean, yet we were meant to dive deep within. This is our true nature. So counting your blessings is truly a state of mind. Most of us are oblivious to our true nature. We're so lost blaming each other and trying to prove our point of view. The wise man simply smiles. He has nothing to prove. Microscope versus telescope. We are all experts using the external telescope. With our two eyes, we focus on the external world. Our whole life is based externally. Yet, we have an infinite power microscope inside of us. We have never turned it on except when we were young. We came into this world with the microscope turned on. This microscope is so powerful one can see that the body and mind are one and the same. One can see the interconnectedness of all things. One can see that I'm an intricate part of the universe inside a human body. What magnification level are you on? Is your microscope even turned on? Do you even care if it is or not? What difference does it make in my life? But you don't know. You don't know. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Well, you can put salt in his food. Hopefully this is salt in your food. The truth needs no convincing. We're not trying to sell you something. The truth is not a commodity that can be bought or sold. It exists inside of you. It is keeping you alive. With the power behind your breath, you will not be there. It is as simple as that. Yet are you even aware of your breath? Most of us breathe unconsciously. We are shallow breathers due to this situation. We are chest breathers, not belly breathers. Look at a newborn baby. This is how we should breathe from the belly. I could go on and on with the benefits of belly breathing and the power behind your breath. Close your eyes for a few minutes and sense the emotion of pure love keeping you alive. It is as simple as that. Dropless of Love. I find it fascinating that we are wired for biological, chemical, and non-physical droplets of love. It is built in. The Buddhists and ancient yogis have known this for thousands of years. It's only in the last 30 years have Western scientists been studying the effects of meditation on the brain. We have probably hundreds of thousands of unique chemicals that we have never seen before. in our ordinary state of survival. Scientists have mapped out around 1,500 positive and 1,500 negative chemicals. Yet, there's an infinite amount of bliss chemicals that lies dormant within. Many people, due to stress, try to get drunk or get high to escape the world. They know that the next morning one will have a hangover. Yet people drink year after year and wake up with hangovers. These droplets of love are medicine to the mind, body, and soul. There are no negative side effects. As a matter of fact, the more one drinks these droplets of love, the more in harmony one will be. This is why I always say the spiritual path is the most practical path. This path allows one to have his feet on the ground and his head in heaven. What could be more glorious than that? In this state, one simply smiles at life. There is nothing to say or prove. The world at large may be flaming each other and fighting with each other. The wise man knows how to live in the center of the hurricane. Why live our lives like leaves scattered in the wind? The center of the hurricane exists inside of us. What can be more glorious than that? Nobody can do the work for you. It's only by your will alone. That is the first step. Nobody's going to save you. You must save yourself. Yes, help is all around you. Help comes when you take action. Grace comes to those who align themselves with their true nature. Miracles do happen. It's a miracle. You are alive. Relax. If you want peace of mind, you must relax. If you want a healthy body, you must relax. Struggling never leads to relaxation. Do you know the tenser you are in any given situation leads to stress? Over time, your mind and body become stressed out. This becomes your natural state. Mind you, this is not your true state. Your body then becomes wired to this. Note in this state, it's like a mosquito is constantly buzzing around you. One becomes quite irritated. Most spiritual practice says the more relaxed you are, the closer you are to realize your true nature. Being stressed out, one will never discover the jewel within. It's as simple as that. Only when the mind, body, and soul are in harmony can one understand the meaning behind this. Relaxation is the key. One may have the greatest concentration in the world, yet if you aren't relaxed, the door won't open. Brute mental force won't open the door. A person who is totally relaxed realizes the door is always open. In fact, there is no door. This is your true nature. One then discovers that relaxation is a valuable asset to have. It is your friend. Curveballs can be thrown at you. One simply smiles at life. There is no internal struggle. As I said many times before, one lives in the center of the hurricane. This is your true state. Our current society doesn't know how to relax. Even when we are drinking our beers, the mind is agitated. When the mind is agitated, peace of mind can't occur. How relaxed are you in your life? Have you discovered the inner relaxation that exists inside of you? This is your true nature.